In 2023, is it worth it to skip the help desk? We're going to talk about that in today's video. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Zach with IT Career Questions, and it's a hot topic, right? Should you be skipping the help desk? Is that something that's going to be a good idea for you? And that is actually the question that I would prompt back to you. Is that a good idea for you? Because it is actually going to depend really just simply on you, because everybody's different, right? The help desk, as far as I'm concerned, is an amazing way to break into the IT field. It is probably the easiest way for somebody to break into the IT world. But there are caveats to this, right? Now, typically when you're looking at the help desk and other entry-level IT types of roles, you are looking at lower salaries ultimately. You often see the help desk or other entry-level IT salaries being anywhere from the $35,000 to maybe $50,000 to maybe $60,000 per year, depending on the location, because that's, another caveat there. Every single entry-level IT type of role is going to have a different salary dependent on the location, where it's at. Is it on site? Is it remote? What type of industry is it in? How many people are working in the help desk? How many people are they supporting in that help desk? It's going to depend on a lot of different factors. Sometimes when you're in more rural areas, you're going to see some of these entry-level roles pay really not much at all. And it could be way less than that $35,000 or $30,000 a year mark, right? It's all going to depend. And that's one of the unfortunate things when it comes to entry-level IT. And if you're looking to make a transition into the world of IT, that could be kind of a really, sour end of it. It might be very unappealing to you. You might be asking yourself why it would make sense for you to transition from a career that you've had for maybe the last 20 years and you're making a really substantial salary. Why would it make sense for you to stop what you're doing in your current career to go and work a entry-level IT role and be making, $18 an hour? That might not make sense to you. And that's where, again, it depends solely on you, the individual. So somebody who is younger, who has not ventured off into the career field in general, they might look at $18 an hour and be like, oh, well, that's, all right. I mean, nowadays, it's really not, right? Everybody wants to be making over $20 an hour, right? That's kind of where we're at, I guess, as a society, if you will, as a nation, right? Specifically U.S. related, right? But that's not always going to be the case when it comes to entry-level IT work. And one thing you have to understand about that is, at the end of the day, when you look at help desk and a lot of the other entry-level IT roles that are out there, it's all very much customer service focused. It's all focused on troubleshooting and responding to different tickets and calls that are coming in, troubleshooting and resetting passwords, and relying off of different knowledge bases and relying off of your ticketing system to help you troubleshoot and fix issues that are going on in different environments. But of course, every single help desk or entry-level IT role is, different depending on the industry and depending on that organization, et cetera, et cetera. The point is, right, if you haven't been following along in this convoluted mess that I've been telling you, it's going to vary across the board what you're going to find for entry-level IT work and salaries and what you can expect in these types of roles. That's not always going to align with everybody. If you're young and you're looking for a maybe transition from where you're at currently, you're going to find that a lot of the different entry-level IT roles and help desk types of roles are going to pay a salary between, that $15, $16 to $24-ish on that highest end there in a lot of these entry-level IT roles. Now, if that's something that's going to work for you, no matter where you're at in life, then that's going to be an easy transition for you. Working in an entry-level IT role can be something very obtainable for everybody, because again, it's more customer service focused, but it's not for everybody at the same time, because there are people who are older, right? There are people who are 50, 60 years old even, who are looking to make a transition into the world of IT. And these people who are, 40s, 50s, and let's go back even 30s even, right? 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s years old, they may have already had a career, right? Especially, 50 years old, you may have had a career for the last 20, 30 years, and you're just so completely sick and tired of doing that same thing over and over again that you look at IT as something that is interesting to you. You have a passion for it. You want to do that. But it doesn't make sense financially for you to take a salary cut to go work a help desk role. And I can completely understand that. That can be a hard pill to swallow. Now, this is where, and across the board, so even if you're young and you're trying to work in IT, the best thing that you can do to completely skip the help desk is you're going to be studying. You're going to be learning. You're going to be getting certifications. Getting certifications, whether you like it or not, and whether you want to hear this or not, those are going to help solidify that you have at least some knowledge in a specific area. So what you need to do before we even look at these certifications, you need to identify what area of IT is of interest to you. One of the great things about working in the world of entry-level IT and help desk is that you get to see and experience a lot of the different technologies that are being used, kind of across the board in IT. You get to see a lot of the networking, the cybersecurity, the cloud, the DevOps, the application side of things. So you get to actually kind of experience and see firsthand what interests you and what you need to focus on when you want to take those next steps. But when you don't have that opportunity, or when you can't really make it to that opportunity because you can't take that type of pay cut because you're a career changer, you have to take the time to understand what other roles in IT could be of interest to you. And this is great where things like YouTube come in handy for you, because you can look up a day in the life of specific IT roles, whether that's, a network administrator, whether that's a cybersecurity engineer, penetration tester, cloud engineer. There are so many different roles in IT. You have to take the time to first see what each and every one of those roles is all about. What technologies do they utilize? What things do you need to learn? So when you start doing this, when you start kind of learning this information, make sure you're documenting it. Make sure you look at these different roles that might be of interest to you. Look at the job descriptions. What technologies are they talking about? What other methodologies can you learn related to those roles? You have to be on the Google, looking this stuff up. You got to be on the YouTube, seeing if there are any day in the life videos that can walk you through what these people experience so that you can see if that interests you. Now, once you do that, once you find a specific area in IT, then you can start focusing on those certifications related to that specific area. If it's cybersecurity, you could get your PMPT, you could get your OSCP, you could get your Security Plus. If it's the cloud, you could focus on Azure certifications, right? There's so many different areas that you can focus on. A great tool, before I forget, ChatGPT. You can utilize ChatGPT to prompt with so many different questions to help guide you in an amazing path to what ultimately you can find success from, right? So utilize all of these different tools so that you can figure out which area of IT you want to start learning more about. The certifications are definitely going to help. You have to be building projects though. So home labs and building out a website, or, getting on Medium even, which is free, getting on LinkedIn and writing articles about your home lab, the different projects that you complete within your lab that are related to the specific area of IT that you want to be venturing down. You have to be able to show that you have some hands-on experience with these different technologies. These are just steps that you need to take to kind of help, solidify or validate these skills, if you will. Another step that you could take is getting a college degree. If you have the time, the capacity to do that, that will help you. And that could be a college degree that is, again, specifically focused more so in the area of IT that you want to be venturing down. That can be helpful for you. Is it required? No. Are the certifications required? No. The biggest thing that's going to be the requirement for you is building out the skills that you need to help validate and show that you have the knowledge and you have the ability to do these things. Because one advantage that people have as career changers who are trying to get into the world of IT, you have life experience that you bring to the table. You have past experience in whatever your career has been in for X amount of years, where you have utilized different technologies or you have utilized just different processes that can be helpful for you when you're advancing your career into IT, or when you're trying to make that transition into IT. So if you are at a higher salary in the current career that you're in, it can be a little bit easier for you to transition into a more focused role in IT and still maintain a maybe somewhat close salary to where you need to be at. That is maybe the biggest advantage that you would have as a career changer, transitioning into the world of IT and trying to skip the help desk. Now, that's not to say that you as a new person venturing off into the career field, a younger person, isn't going to have those same, possibilities or prospects or availability, if you will. It might be a little bit more difficult, but there are many steps, again, that no matter what, you both need to be taking, whether you're that career changer or whether you're that new person trying to get into IT who may be younger, getting that hands-on experience, building these home labs, documenting these things, networking. These are going to be the steps that you can take to help you advance yourself out of help desk before you even step foot into help desk. But at the end of the day, do I recommend skipping the help desk? Not necessarily. I think it's an amazing starting point for many people. It's not going to be for everybody, but it is still an amazing way to transition into the world of IT. And no matter what, at the end of the day, the best way still to learn about new things and to experience these things is through building out home labs. Getting certifications is always going to be helpful. They're not a requirement. Having a degree or getting a degree, that will always be helpful as well, but by no means is that a requirement as well. But when you combine all of these things, the degree, the certifications, and the hands-on through the home labs and things like that, you have a significant advantage over somebody else who doesn't have those things. And that could be said for career changers who are older, who have, the 10, 20, 30 years of previous career experience. You have an advantage over people who don't have all of that experience. So if you are trying to transition into the world of IT and you're looking at the help desk saying, well, it's not going to work for me, well, that's okay. You have options. You all have options. It's not the end all be all, if you will. It can be a great option for many people, but it is not for everybody. So no matter what you decide to do and no matter what option is going to work best for you, I wish you the best of luck. IT is an amazing career field to work in, and you have so many options. And no matter what way you step foot into the field, you will continue to gain new options. You are never going to be siloed in the world of IT. So whether you start off in the help desk, whether you start off in the cloud, whether you start off as a programmer, you're never going to be siloed in that specific area of IT forever. Once you start getting experience, that is where you can explode in the world of IT. Experience is king. So good luck to you, and I wish you nothing but the best. And of course, a great way to learn more about some of these different certifications and get more hands-on is to sign up for IT Pro TV. I highly recommend them. They're not sponsoring this video by any means, but they are an affiliate of mine. You can use the coupon code ITCQ30. It saves you 30% off of the subscription over there. They go by edutainment, and I can highly recommend them. They helped me pass my Security Plus certification that you can see back there. Their content is very entertaining, and you will definitely learn a lot by going over their material. So check out the link in the description below. Make sure you use that coupon code, and good luck to you in your learning journey.